And let's verify that I inserted the right links to go live on your channel. But it says we're live. Folks, thank you for joining. Bear with us just a moment. Kicking off some lives here. Just want to make sure everything is operating as it's designed, that to rule out any user error. I am human and I make a lot of those. But I can't tell you how excited I am to have yet again a conversation with none other than John from the Forgotten Soldiers. Always a good day to connect with you, my brother.
What up, James? Yeah, I'm trying to check real quick and see if I'm live or not.
You want me to play your intro? We could play your intro, bro.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Well, you want to?
All right. Well,
it says. Let me see.
Welcome to a muzzle chat with the Forgotten Soldiers, and I'm gonna actually try to pull up his freaking amazing podcast that everyone should go over to right here, right now. Subscribe, start liking, start sharing, because you warriors are showing up on behalf of all of our freedoms, all of our health. You're sounding the alarm on everything, and you're effectively getting organized and providing amazing solutions for us all. So it's so important that people, yeah, it shows you're live right here on your Rumble, bro.
I just looked at it. It's good.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off. You don't have to play my intro, brother. We're good.
Oh, don't have to? All right. Well, I was getting it set up.
To. I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to have people sit through that and be like, what the fuck am I watching? You know, I mean, I love my intro, but, you know, you can't fast forward it. If you don't want to watch it and you can't fast forward it, it's like, what the
How about we'll just entice people to check out some episodes, some of your content, to watch this amazing intro themselves, okay? Like, I challenge you, folks. The more we can actually get behind those doing heavy lifting, the more effective, like, we really can provide these dang solutions. I know that's, you know, kind of off air, and sometimes on air, we will kind of just let out those frustrations. That seems to be a big one as to how people are kind of going back to their lives delusionally, as though they can go back to a life of normalcy without addressing this type of warfare. And golly, I swear I'm gonna start even using Disney. Yes, even Disney, corrupt Disney, and like the ants video where the crickets and the ants, right? Like the crickets don't want the ants to understand that they outnumber us 100 to 1. Mm-hmm. But if we, the people, could just grasp just that, what happens to fear? It's out the freaking window. And then what do we do with unification? We'll seize these moments and opportunities and no longer let the crickets freaking run our lives, and we'll experience true freedom, true health. It'd be amazing, right?
We'll create a beautiful world, bro.
So let's do a screen share. Anyway, you know what, bro? Welcome. We're welcoming each other too, because we're broadcasting on both channels at the same time. This is freaking awesome.
Hey, I love doing shows with you, whether it's live or not live. You know, you bring a lot to the platform itself. You have a lot of knowledge on everything that's freaking going on, more than me. My main focus is usually just, you know, this vaccine, this bioweapon is what I call it. So, I mean, that's my focus. I dabble in other stuff, but you have a wide range of knowledge. So I'm always impressed.
Dang, bro. Well, it's not about accolades, but I appreciate it. It's one of them things, like, to your point, and we'll just disclaim, we'll let the listeners know right here, right now. Hey,
real quick though, if you're watching already, don't log off, because we're going to go through Freedom Fighter 1776, a whistleblower report.
Yes.
We're going to pull up the reason. We're going to show you the documents, but when the FDA approved the vaccine, they also took away. So it's the start marketing date, the end marketing date. So they actually took away the approval. We're going to get into all that, but I didn't mean to cut you off, Jay. I just want to make sure people understand. All this information here, we cited it all, and we're going to go through it and explain all the corruption and fraud.
Yeah, I was going to even create an episode today, but I'll drop everything to have warriors and men like you on, is to essentially why we're doing what we're doing. And that's why there's no accolades to be had. Like you said, and the listeners are unaware, we had a personal conversation. I don't even know. It must have been over an hour. And you're just like, it's just this big web, just this big web of lies, this big web of tyranny and evil in this existence. And when you start connecting from, let's just say, what you're doing on the Forgotten Soldiers with the COVID tyrannies and the COVID crimes, you just continue connecting, and I haven't even absorbed it all, and I'm trying to come at it in an effective way. And I've fallen in it. I've gotten discouraged, and you can't beat darkness with darkness. We got to continue to walk in the light, because the reality of it is, in this life, God already has won. So we could come as warriors from a place of victory on behalf of the spiritual warfare that's playing out in this existence, and more so breathe light, salvation, and also saving mortal lives in the process, so we can fulfill his will, his purpose, which is greater than our own in this existence. And that, my friend, was a word salad, but
there's so many dots to connect. We can't do it alone. So the more people that are involved, the more we can learn, and the more truth we can actually get out there. So everything we talk about today is going to be facts. So factual based evidence. Everything cited. All the documents are there. And whenever you're ready, brother, we'll just jump into it.
Well, I appreciate you, John, once again for everything you do and putting together all this amazing information. I've actually copied and pasted this into the episode so listeners can actually provide that to loved ones, provide the receipts and the proof and the calls to action for themselves. But I want to take a second and just appreciate all the listeners. Without you, there is no momentum. There is no saving anything. So thank you for doing your part and sharing and liking and supporting, especially channels like yours, John, Forgotten Soldiers. You're not in it for money. You're in it for solutions, and that is beautiful. So right here, this freaking email you created, and you could tell me any point. Maybe I'll kill this sound just down a little bit, kind of keep it rolling. So Mark Bashaw, what an amazing man. Shout out to Mark. We recently had him on Unmuzzled Chat. Freaking love that man. He's doing us a great service, and I look forward to having him on time and time again. We didn't.
And actually, I reached out to Mark, and I was like, hey, I'm going to use your whistleblower report. Is that cool? Okay. I was going to do it anyways, but because it's public information.
Yes.
And it's right here on his website, Freedom Fighter 1776.
So where do you go on this page?
Go to the main menu.
Okay.
And then go down to where it says First Lieutenant Mark Bashaw, which he should have been a captain, but obviously with the COVID stuff, they stopped his promotion. So go down. And then as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff, which we're not going to focus on, but you can keep going down. There's some good stuff going on all the way down.
What a freaking stud.
All right, so here we go. So there's a bunch of stuff. There's his article 138 UCMJ, his complaint. That's a protected communication through the chain of command. So all that stuff's available for people to look at. What we're gonna do is go down. So
go down
the link right there. Yeah, the link to the whistleblower report you have. I don't remember. It was the joint whistle. So 15 August 22, up one more. That's the joint whistleblower report. So I believe that's the correct one. If not, I gave you the link, but that's the same thing. So you can download that, or you can click on the link that I provided you on the document, whatever is good for you.
Here, or this
that's
was
the link that'll take you straight to the report.
Perfect.
I got to look some stuff up on my phone because.
Yeah, that was the right link. They're both the same.
All right.
Perfect.
Awesome. So, so if you want to highlight some stuff as I go through it, if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to just say like real quick is this. So it's the memorandum for all members of Congress from concerned service member. And that's the 15 August 2022.
Yeah.
So it's a whistleblower report of illegal Department of Defense activity. Okay. And we're going to skip a bunch of stuff, but like, again, this is a big document. I think it's like 41 pages.
Okay.
Go down to that number 1. Okay. And I just want to show people how serious this document is. All right. Because it says pursuant to, okay, it's the first number 1, but it's like the last sentence. Pursuant to 28 U.S. Code 1746, the undersigned declare under penalty of perjury as follows. So everything that's stated in here is under the penalty of perjury. So if he's lying or saying something that's not true, all right, he can be arrested. So that's how important it is.
Yeah, right.
We're going to go down to 3. All right, so I'll just read 3. Make sure I reach the right spot. All right, so it says, Americans never lose the right to legally refuse the EUA product. Okay, EUA law 21 U.S. Code 360 BBB imposes significant responsibilities upon the government to inform Americans of their rights. The only exception to the government's duty to inform citizens of their rights is in a narrowly defined presidential waiver process for the military per 10 U.S. Code 1107 Alpha. So, okay, so what that's saying is, per that code 1107 Alpha, we were supposed to be informed of our rights to refuse that vaccine because it was EUA. Okay. And there has to be a president waiver. So what I want you to do is pull up the, that 10 U.S. Code 1107 Alpha. It's on that document I sent you. Let's see. It's like 4 or 5 down. Yeah, it's right there. He says on the left side, it'll say U.S. Code 1107 Alpha. Not this that one, James.
Oh, geez.
Go back. Right there.
This one.
There it is.
There it is.
All right. So let's see.
Is it hard for you to read on your end?
No, it's not too bad, actually. I'm just trying to make sure I get to the correct spot. Okay, so the first one, I think I had it marked on the other document, but I'm pretty sure it's the first one. It says, in the case of the administration of a product, actually go up a little bit so they can see the title, sorry, emergency use products, of a product authorized for emergency use under Section 564 of the Federal Food and Drug Cosmetic Act, to members of the armed forces, the condition described in Section 564, all that crap, of such act and required under paragraph 1 alpha 2 alpha of such section, blah, 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 designed to ensure that individuals are informed of an option to accept or refuse administration of a product. All right. Yes. This may be waived only by the president, only if the president determines in writing that complying with such requirements is not in the interest of national security. All right. So, and that never happens. Okay.
No.
Go down a little bit so I can kind of reference something else real quick. A little more. Keep going. Oh, go back. Oh, okay. It's not in this one. It's the 564 one. That's all right. Go up. Yeah. We'll click back on the document. So we're gonna go to that 564 real quick. Go to the document.
564.
Comirnaty. Let's go. All right. So where it says number 2, a termination of declaration. All right. Let's go to that real quick. Up. Right there. Down. Right there. There it is.
Awesome.
All right. So go down. Down, 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 down. Nope, keep going. Keep going.
This is
There it is.
all good. This is good stuff right here.
It's all legal jargon we got to read.
Which is
so
important.
Just leave it on this page. We'll come back to this
Okay.
in a second. Let me check.
One of the things that people need to understand with what took place is this document right stinking here.
Yep, the Nuremberg
right.
Code. We like they violated almost probably everything on this damn code.
Pretty much, yes. Pretty much every line item in here, like it. Yep, right here. The deceit, the overreach, the coercion. You know,
I'm glad you brought that up because with what we're going through right now with these other documents, it's going to show most of that, probably all of it.
All of this. So it's important to connect what took place, everything that's been documented. You can compare it to this. It's literally war crimes and it's crimes against humanity. It was egregious. It was war tactics more than tyrannical overreach. And the more we actually come to terms and are willing to accept that, once again, think of that Ant movie, right? We're not to be fearful when we realize like this was waged upon the masses. We can select the few, and it's more important than justice and imprisonment that we just frankly rule out the corruption altogether, so we can ensure our health, we can secure our freedoms. Like that's crucial. So you want
we're all deceived, we're all coerced, right? Go back to the to Mark Bashaw's whistleblower report.
Okay, this one.
All right, so let's roll down to number 4. Okay, and this whole thing, you can read the whole thing if you want, but we're not going to do that here. Okay, number 4. Okay, prior to the administration of an EUA product, the recipient is required to inform inter alia of the option to accept or refuse administration of the EUA product of codified in 21 U.S. Code. That one. Okay, this right is a required condition that the Secretary of Health and Human Services shall include for the authorization of any unapproved product covered by an emergency declaration. I think I read too much. All right, but okay. So the right to accept or refuse, and we kind of already touched on that with that U.S. code, and it's also in the fact sheet for the healthcare caregivers or the healthcare. Well, I don't know what the title is, but I have that document on here too as well. We'll look at that later. All right, let's keep going down. Let's see. Okay, yeah, go to 7.
What is that? Congress provides complete liability protection against any. Wow.
Yeah, we know that's criminal in its own.
Yes, it is. Wow.
So that very last sentence on 7, so it's basically this page and the next one, but it says on 23 August 2021, the FDA approved, and go to the next page.
Yeah.
All right, fully licensed the first, go up more, right down a little bit. Yep, fully licensed the first COVID-19 vaccine under the trade name Comirnaty of interest. The FDA ended its legal marketing status the same day. Okay, and that's a big statement, right? So we're gonna go through that. Let's go back to the sheet I got. Okay, so let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Go down. It's the right there. End marketing. It's the 1, 2, 3. The fourth link from the top.
This one right here. End marketing.
Yep. So this is the National Drug Code .com. All right.
Wow.
So now I got a couple documents that we're going to go through with this one as well. So So you see where it says NDC product code? And it says 009 or 69-1000. Okay. So go down a little bit. All right. So on the bottom right there where it says packages, right? You see the blue on the bottom where it says, go down. It says packages right there.
Yeah.
It says 0069-1000-02. And then the next one says -03, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, go back up a little bit. Right there. Stop down right there. Boom. So if you read that left column, right?
Yes.
It says NDC, whatever, proprietary name, labor code, FDA application, marketing category, right? And then you see it was marketed under, right, biological license application, so it's approved, right? Now, the start marketing date is underneath that. What does it say? 23 August 2021.
Mm-hmm.
We're good, right? Go the next one down. What does that say? End marketing date.
Wow.
There it is right
Same
there.
day. The same day.
Listing expiration date.
Same day.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Enlighten us, John. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, I will. I'll cover that as well. But what I want you to do is pull up that Exhibit 0 I had that has those pictures in it, right? And that's the David I wrote. That's where those pictures come from.
Oh, the pictures. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You just click this over here.
There it is. All right. So we're going to skip the first one because it does, but doesn't have to do with that. We'll go to the second one, right? Let's blow her up. All right. Go up to the top a little bit where I took the screenshot of the search engine, right? cdc.gov. Go down. Down. Stop. So top left corner right there says www.cdc.gov, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the .gov website. Okay, so now go down on that picture, the bottom right there. Yep, the date right there, November 5th, 2021.
Yes.
Okay, so go up a little bit, and this is a snippet, right, from my computer on that date. Okay, now, it kind of the left in the middle where the columns are, you see the word Comirnaty, right? The C's kind of cut off. Left.
You know what's difficult? My cursor on my screen is different when I look at what you're seeing. So this is fun. Right? You're having me drive, but I'm effectively crashing the vehicle. But this is great. We're working through it.
It's working. So that first column
right here.
It says Comirnaty, and that's the approved vaccine, right, on the 23rd of August. Okay, so if the next column over, right, it says the MCGs and the 4 adults, 16 plus, and all that. The next column over has your national drug codes, right? So your 0069-1000-02, 0069. 1000-03, and those are the same numbers that we just read on that other document from the NDC list, correct?
That was only good for a day.
Yeah, and then so the verbiage on this right over here, that big old paragraph,
right?
Right. If you read through that, right, the first thing it says, the products are not orderable at this time. That's the first thing it says. Okay, but you know, if you go in through it more, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. All right, here the last sentence or paragraph. It said, at present, Pfizer does not plan to produce any product with these new NDCs. As I told you, the NDCs are those 0069 1003 number or 02.
What?
Right. So they're not gonna deal with that. And labels over the next few months, while EUA's emergency use authorized products is still available and being made available for use. For U.S. distribution. So
Wow.
the CDC itself on this document is saying that we're not going to produce, and you cannot order Comirnaty, which is the only approved vaccine at this time.
Right.
Can't do that. And it's saying that they're not going to, while there's a bunch of, it literally says it, emergency use authorized vaccines in the United States. Now,
Wow.
if you go back and you remember, the watching TV and you got the news and all this other shit, and everybody says, "Oh, it's approved. It's the first approved. It's approved." Well, they didn't tell you the end marketing date was the same day. So yeah, it was approved, but it was also pulled off the market.
Wow.
There
Talk about deceit. That right there is the synagogue of Satan, man. That's not
There
good.
it is.
I've heard many experts, many doctors walk through it, and they showed some of this type of data, but this right here, I don't know, it hits on a whole different level when you're actually making these connections. So John, thank you so much for doing this work. People can actually click through the links themselves.
Yep.
The
only thing they're not going to get is this PDF document, right? Because there's no link for it. It's my personal document I just sent to you, but it's on here. You can literally look at it. But all right, let's go a little further. Go down.
You're saying your personal document being the list, being that.
Those pictures, you're not going to have a link to it because it's literally
yes. This was a screenshot
I put into a PDF, so it's not on the actual internet.
Right.
So let's go down to the next one, and then it's the same exact document. Okay. The only thing I want to show everybody is the date on the bottom of that document. Right. December 9th, 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's thousands of people, probably millions of people, I don't know, this is in the United States. Okay. I know I'm here talking about the military and how they force soldiers to take vaccines that were approved, but they actually weren't. And this is proof of that. But this is in the United States, right? The US, because it says for US distribution, right? So if you went and got a vaccine in the United States after it was approved, because it was approved and you thought, cool, it wasn't approved, right? Okay, so go down to the last picture.
That's incredible. Way to capture all that. Oh my gosh.
The very last one.
Wow.
Go to the bottom. So this one, I don't remember if it was my Gomar rebuttal or my Article 138. I sent it just like this, how it looks. I freaking drew a little circle around it, put it in a document, gave it to my chain of command, and showed them what it said. And the date is January 13th, 2022. Still no approved vaccine in the United States.
Right. It's all the same verbiage.
Yep. And now what booster do you think people are on now? Right.
Right. Unbelievable. Under the label, all the talking heads, even government officials, even the president himself Fauci, right? Safe and effective. Unbelievable. Pandemic of the unvaccinated. Just all this weaponization of words. It's
and
word pack.
You asked, why did they do that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the answer. Okay. I want you to pull up the Congressional Research Survey service now.
The Congressional, right here.
Yep, that's the one. Okay, go back to that document so I can. Let me see. I can't remember where it's at. Common. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's on page 4, 6, or page 4 or 6. So it's probably on 6, paragraph 5. I think that's where it's at.
6, paragraph 5.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start at the bottom.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Go down. That might not be it. No, it's not. Oh, manufacturer soon. Comirnaty label. Okay, that's not it. Go to the other one.
Page 4.
We're gonna get through this.
Which page?
Go back to the document real quick.
Okay, not a problem. Page 4, paragraph 1. Page 2, 6, paragraph 5. 4, paragraph 1.
Oh, it might be up. Probably not, but okay, maybe that is it. Okay. No, that's not it. All right.
I don't know.
I gotta find this document.
I don't know what you're looking for over there, John, but it's important. You are blowing my mind. This is fun to go through with you. I appreciate you.
Review studies, labeling biological product. There's something missing. All right, maybe I just need to look it up on my computer. But go back to the document, and then I'll try and find it.
Back to this.
But basically, if you go on this document, go down. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll stop right here. Go up a little bit. Scope biological. Go down. Down. Go to the next where it's black highlighted, so I can read the title to see what it says.
Here, let me back out of it a bit. You're saying?
I thought I had it in there. Good. But maybe I messed this one up.
Dude, you're all good. Maybe I didn't count paragraphs good.
I'm going to keep going down.
4, 5.
Keep going down.
Was this the paragraph 6?
No. Keep going down. Down. Go down. Okay, right there. I think this might not be it. No, keep going down. I kind of remember what it says, but just give me a second. Keep going. Oh, I can't believe I messed this one up. I really want to show you.
Why don't you find it on your screen? If you can, we could try to, if you find it on your screen, we'll either transfer that to my screen or
screen share.
Have you do the screen share. But folks, come on now. We got a former president right here saying it for how it is. I got to change an audio setting, but my goodness, just take a listen to this real quick.
For the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs.
What?
The order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
What? Freaking believable. So, will you prove him right and do nothing? Or will you prove him wrong and start caring about what actually really matters in this life? I'm telling you, it's not football. I'm sorry. It's not the mindless entertainment in this existence. Heck, this level of warfare, it's not even our jobs at this point. If we don't show up and address this type of threat sooner versus later, wow. We kind of get what we get. And I just pray we all in unison more so take this serious and stand up against this type of evil, because the outcomes, right, is no joke. We'd even integrate this great reset, the plan. You don't have to take my word for it. They say it for themselves, folks. And it's not just this singular shot rollout known as the COVID-19 vaccine, as they call it. It's actually a bioweapon, but all shots, okay? You look into this, these stats are horrific. 1971 and 10,000 were autistic. Now it's in 2007, 1 in 36. Now it's closer to 1 in 30. So let's just connect the dots. We can't allow this two-tiered infrastructure to continue. This is a recent embalmer video showing individuals as they did their thing with the deceased, what they were pulling out of the bodies. Okay. 7 different people. It's still happening. The reality of any mortal being, you can't live with this type of clotting of your arteries and your your circulatory, like, blood system, whatever you want to call it. I don't have all the terminologies, but look at this. This was all out of deceased vaccine recipients, COVID-19 vaccine recipients. And it's no secret. This product right here that he pulled out of their bodies would have clearly led to death. Okay. It doesn't take any rocket scientist. And my heart truly goes out to all the deceased. My heart goes out to all those suffering from this type of warfare. I mean, it's no secret. I myself am fighting Lyme disease. And that's a bioweapon that dates back to the freaking 50s in the Cold War. It's no joke. It's a silent killer, and we must do something about it. And unfortunately, this we've pulled this up before, but I came across it again on X, and I couldn't help but to post it again on X. It's like, just use this analogy. It's not even an analogy. It's kind of the reality. 4 people give a restaurant a bad review, and you automatically start looking for a different place to eat. But thousands or millions or hundreds of thousands, what does it matter at that point? Like, we get lost in numbers. But it's all clearly more than 4 people actually report a specific vaccine that injured them. And it could be any one of the childhood vaccine schedule. There's more than 4. I'll assure you that on every single one of those shots that report that has injured them, maimed them, murdered them, killed them. And yet we go to take our children to get more. We ourselves will go in and get more flu vaccine. It is making me sick, John. I've been watching Bear Grylls, The Island, okay, because I love nature things, and it's interesting to see these Brits and individuals get stranded on an island, but through Prime, it has these commercials, and they're ramping up very tastefully done visual commercials of CVS and a family unit going in, being rewarded with treats because none of them, shedded a tear, like they're doing a good thing, getting the flu / COVID-19 shot. Like, it is egregious to me. I don't understand is that how these shots are still on the shelves, and all of them haven't been under full investigation. And you could just see the psychological warfare with the type of commercials being created. It's more than a business move on their end, right? As we know. Were you able to pull that up?
1, 2.
You're still looking? Or am I distracting you?
Yeah, I got it. So go to page 8.
Okay.
I found out where it is on my notes too.
Oh man, where was I? It was this one.
I apologize. So I put this together in 2 hours, and me and James talked for a while, and then we just jumped into it.
You're freaking awesome.
So page 8, paragraph 2. Okay. All right. Yeah, the very end. It says, if FDA had revoked the EUA when it approved the Comirnaty BLA license, right? The remaining Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines doses would have been unauthorized and unable to be used.
What?
So this is the reason why the marketing start date and the end date was on the same day. Because what this is saying is, I'll read it again. If the FDA had revoked the EUA, so they have to revoke the EUA to push out the approved vaccine. Okay. When it was approved, the Comirnaty BLA, that's saying that's the approved, the remaining Pfizer BioNTech vaccine doses would have been unauthorized and unable to be used. So that's the reason why they had the end marketing date on the same day it was marketed. They had to stop that marketing date, or all the EUAs would have been unauthorized and unable to be used. And now,
how is this not a war crime in people's eyes? How is that not a war crime? Running under all these labels, safe and effective. Even more horrendous than that, obviously the tyrannical overreach through individuals' businesses that took false narratives, literally people, influenced and manipulated people into getting this just to keeping their job. Even more horrifically than that, are military service members and men like you that literally have their lives were threatened, their families in a huge sense, but led to an egregious outcome of getting the boot, losing all the benefits, everything you were fighting for, willing to die for, man. It's so crazy to me how people aren't grasping these war crimes and the magnitude.
Let me show you and everybody else.
Yes.
Go all the way to the top again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So FDA approval of the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine frequently asked questions. Now, what does the very, very top say? Congressional Research Service. Right? You telling me Congress didn't know about this?
Right.
In what's the date? September 29th, 2021?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll take it another step further.
Okay.
Do a search, right? Control search. No. I just on that document.
Oh, okay. On this document.
Control F, right? Hit Control F.
Okay.
And then you're gonna type in U.S. space, and then write code, CODE. All right. Now, all right, where back that up a little bit where it says 130, don't move the screen. It says there are some expectations, such as where particular statutory authorities or in the employment context, contractual requirements such as collective bargaining agreements distinguish between authorized and approved vaccines. All right, watch this example. For example, the Department of Defense interprets Title 10, Section 1107 Alpha of the U.S. Code to preclude a mandate for EUA vaccines unless the president issues a waiver.
Ooh.
Right there in the document.
You got him.
Right there in the document. You tell me they didn't know about this shit?
Right.
It's right there in their own document. Congressional Research Service. Get out of there. Back in September 2021.
Right. It's to the compliance. It's to the delusional, going back to life in normacy as a mass population or military personnel. I mean, anyone alive to date, just connecting what you're bringing to the table right here today and not necessarily being up in arms about it, like, blows my mind. Now, there's obviously we truly are derelict in our duties as citizens of this country, and we all have responsibilities and roles to play that we've kind of divvied up, which is to our own detriment. But we would be derelict in our duties to not abolish a tyrannical, oppressive entity, whether it's government, anything, right? And with what's being uncovered here, we definitely need more momentum. We need more organization. We need to set out our grievances on state levels. Like, my goodness, folks, let's just open a new tab. Once again, you could just go Arizona state officials. Now, you could do your own research, okay, to your state. But right here, elected officials, az.gov. You could go into the governor, attorney general, secretary of state, you know, just any one of these. But let's just click into the governor. We've gone over this example before. This selected individual, we all know here in Arizona what took place in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But so it was a selected individual. So, but it's irrelevant who's in there. If they're not fulfilling what we want, then we need to mass assemble to whatever means necessary. Whatever means necessary. Because clearly warfare has been deployed against all of us and our loved ones. Whatever means necessary. Now, it would be nice to continue and basically address our grievances to the departments and make sure they operate as by design. And you can do that through these phone numbers, through these email addresses, basically demanding that these shots could get pulled off of shelves, demanding that the spray stop happening in the sky and the poisoning of our air.
Let me add something to that, James. When you do that,
yes,
make sure you record it. Record what you write.
Yes.
Record what you send. Right? Because they're not going to answer you, and they're going to act like they didn't get it. Let me add some more. Go back to that that law. Yeah, the 21 U.S. Code one. The number 2 termination of declaration. The fourth one. Yeah. Up.
Oh, fourth one. On what? The fourth one on this screen?
Right there. Right there.
This one.
Yeah. Go back to that. All right. Now let's go down. This is the one we looked at earlier, but I told you we'll come back to it.
Right.
Go down. Go down. Down. Keep going. Keep going. Right here. Okay. So it says termination of declaration, right?
Yeah.
So they're talking about to terminate the EUA product, okay? If you look in A, it says a declaration under this subsection shall terminate upon the earlier of. You got the first one, right? We don't need to read that. The number 2, the II, a change in the approval status of the product such that the circumstances described in, so it's the emergency use operation like that we're under. So the vaccine was pushed out under emergency use, but this is saying that they'll terminate it if the product's approved, right?
Yeah.
Because now we have an approved product, everybody can get vaccinated, we're no longer in a threat. Okay, but what they did is they made the approved, well, they had the marketing date for the approval, and then they just ended it on the same day because they didn't want to get rid of all those EUAs, right? But according to this, they were supposed to terminate those EUAs.
Wow. So you've got them on multiple angles here, John. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Well, and most of us that are, well, there's whistleblowers and there's people that are, prior military, there's doctors, there's all kinds of people, but they all know this shit already. Right. They know it. And it's just, I don't know, maybe the population doesn't care that they were given a shitty product instead of the approved product. And that's why people are getting those blood clots, and there's adult sudden death syndrome. Pilots are dying or having seizures or heart attacks or whatever they're having. There's myocarditis. Like maybe the American people just don't care that that's happening to them. And by the time they figure it out, it's going to be too late. Let's go back to that Congressional Research Service. And
that breaks my heart, John. Like,
no.
These tactics are nothing new. I mean, since also dating back to the 1950s, they knew what fluoride was going to do putting it in our water. That's exactly precisely why they did it.
Our toothpaste, our water.
Yes. And it literally has a lowering of IQ, and in people's function and abilities in this life. It's lulled us into a false sense of security, lulled us into a false sense of living to even do this type of research that you've done and connect the dots as a masses. We would rather take their talking points than actually see the reality of what we're faced with. And I believe they've been effective in their war tactics to kind of generally have that impact on the masses. Okay. Back to this document.
Yeah, go back to the Congressional Research Service that we had up. We're just gonna look up a few of these words and read a couple of these things. Yeah, do the Control F again.
I do want people to know that it's not. Where's my Control F? Oh, I was hitting function. I want people to know that it's not a disheartening, like it's a beautiful thing to connect these dots. We once again have nothing to fear, right? God's already won, but also, but does that diminish the fact of the warfare and the engagement that's taking place? We can ensure more health, which would lead to more people falling into God's will, like in the meaning and purpose of this existence and whatnot, and increased quality of life and enjoyment of this existence. So it is crucial. Is there more important things to engage in other than this in this existence? No, there really isn't. So even with pointing out the dumbing down and the fluoride and the spraying in the skies and the frequency warfare, everything that we're doing on our cast, it's crucial that we are excited to acknowledge these things so we can just do what we can. Like, we just need to start engaging and doing what we can, come what may. That's what's crucial. All right, what do you want me to type here?
Actually, first go back to Mark Bashaw's whistleblower report, because I just want to highlight, what he actually also stated in there.
In this, or to the main page?
Do you have the site open already? It's the joint report.
Here, let's just refresh it. Go here.
Yeah, Mark Bashaw. Yep. And go down to the bottom area and just hit the it's like 20. Yeah, it's the 15 August one.
15 August.
Yeah, down one more.
That one?
Right there. Yep. So let's see. Go down to 13. And if you can make it just a little bigger.
This one?
Yep. Okay, so almost there. All right, so in accordance with 21 USC, right, 36BBB-3C, the Secretary of HHS may only authorize a product of emergency use if there is no fully licensed product available. Okay, so this kind of, they kind of broke the law in this aspect, because they licensed it, right? So they had the start marketing date, right? They licensed it. And then they took it away, and then they went ahead and sent out the emergency use again, right? Because they had to redo the emergency use. So they kind of broke the law if you look at it in that aspect. I'm not a lawyer, so.
Right.
The HHS Secretary is further obligated by 21 USC 360BBB-3G to review the progress made by fully licensed products and potentially revoke products emergency authorization if a fully licensed product becomes, which we already know that. We just kind of looked up the law side of it, right? So
right.
That's just something else. And then we'll go down to 14. The status of the new Comirnaty labeled product is also in question. Okay.
Wow.
This is interesting. We can just knock it out real quick. The CDC maintain a database enclosure 8 of all lots for COVID-19 vaccines made available under emergency use authorization for distribution in the United States. The vial depicted in enclosure 7, which is Comirnaty labeled, has the lot number FW1331. This lot number appears in the CDC EUA database, right? And as testified by military whistleblower. market shop. Now,
Wow.
what it's saying is the military bases received Comirnaty vials, right? But the lot number on those vials, when you look up in the database, right, the CDC database, those were EUA vaccines.
Golly.
Right? How corrupt and dirty is that shit? Go all the way down to the bottom until you see the pictures of the vials.
That's in the other.
It's on this page. Just grab the.
Oh, it's on this page.
Just keep going down. Yeah, you'll see them. There they are. Back up right there. Go up. So these are the actual vials. Go up a little bit, just a tiny bit, right there. Down, 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 down. Just the header on that. That's where the pictures are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it says military whistleblower photographs of Comirnaty labeled vaccine products taken at USCG sector Juneau, Alaska. So United States Coast Guard sector Juneau, Alaska on 10 June 2022. So Juneau, Alaska got these vials that said Comirnaty on them. So when you look up that FW1331 in the CDC database, it's a EUA vaccine. So it's forgery. They forged, the fucking fake vaccine.
Bro.
That's what they did to these service members.
It's not just breaking the law. These are war crimes. This is crimes against humanity. I don't understand.
So somebody was like, oh, what do you, like, it's not a bioweapon. Like, you're crazy. Okay, first of all, the word bio, right? A vaccine is a biological agent. So there's your bio.
Yes. There's your bio. Yes.
This is being weaponized right here.
Yes. 100%.
Just that alone, that's weaponizing you, lying to you, coercing you to take this freaking vaccine.
You've proved,
which is
EUA.
It.
Yes. Wow, bro.
That's just scratching the surface. Like, we're not going to get into all the other crazy lunatic stuff, right? That maybe we can and can't prove at this point in time.
Right.
But that's showing you that it's a bioweapon. Period. Well,
it's clear that whatever you want to call it, the synagogue of Satan, the cabal, the globalists, if you will, right? They, with the Georgia Guidestones, with the Rothschild Manifesto, with all these things, what we can acknowledge is that there's a two-tiered infrastructure happening as we speak. It's rules for thee and not for me, right? So it's clear. It takes no rocket scientist to see through what they want in the Georgia Guidestones, things of that nature, that they want to achieve a manageable level of world population for world dominance.
They came out and said it.
Yes.
Bill Gates said he wants to use vaccines to control the population. Whether it's the growth, the growth rate, whatever it is, because us as useless eaters are, consuming, all the natural resources.
Well, that's where we don't have to take our word for it. You could literally listen to Klaus Schwab's and his puppet Harari and how what they've said, in fact, themselves. Like, this is no crazy theory. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say
it comes right out of the horse's mouth.
Exactly.
And here's a piece of that evidence, anyways.
100%.
So you can go back to the Congressional Research Service. Well, stay on that page. So you see where it says page 1, manufacturing location, blah, blah. You can actually take those words that says manufacturing location and then just paste that into the search and it'll pop it up.
Oh, cool.
So without the page 1, just take manufacturing location and then copy that and paste it into that Congressional Research Service.
That was
the control. Yeah. It's the one with on. No, it's on top. It's the other document, or is this it? No, it's on the other document. Yeah. No, left. One more to the left. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Stay there. Yeah, search that in that document. And we'll just search a couple of these words, go over them real quick. And then I want to get back to that that Exhibit 0 I had that has that first picture. We'll do that later, but I want to get back to that after all this and just kind of show you what was going on there.
Why is it not searching it? I'm hitting enter.
Break it. Click on the document again. click on the document real quick.
All right.
And then re-hit Control F, maybe.
This is the right one. The Congressional research.
Yeah. Re-hit Control F. And then hit enter again. Okay.
It's saying
Just go
0
down,
out of 0.
go down to page 1. Well, it's paragraph 1. So yeah, if it's not going to pull it up, then I can't really help you out with that. We can skip it. It's not a big deal.
Well,
yeah, if it doesn't, we can come back and see if it works, and then if it doesn't, we'll just.
So it was this one. Let me just reopen. It was this one. I think it was reference and control.
No, not this one. It's the Congressional Research Service. Oh no, I'm right. Yeah, no, my bad. I'm wrong. I'm stupid.
No, you're. So was it this?
Back. No, yeah, go back. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so yeah, stay there. You're good. Don't move.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, so it's basically saying under this license, you are approved to manufacture COVID-19 vaccines, mRNA drug substance at this particular place, right? That's where they so you have a contract. When they get the license, they're approved. They have to have a contract. The contract says you have to make it in an approved facility, right? And the reason why is because that facility is held to a different standard under a different U.S. code, right? It has to be approved. It has to be made properly. It has to be perfect, right? As perfect as you can get if it's going to go into, the population, right? The other ones that are under EUA, they're just made in different facilities and their standards aren't as high, right? And then this is where you're getting some of these other issues and problems at, right?
Golly.
So, and the one that was that vial that said Comirnaty but was actually manufactured. It was manufactured in France, right? And so, and that's on the other document as well. But we don't need to go through all that. But it was manufactured in France. So what France did was they made a EUA product and then they just slapped on a approved Comirnaty label, which is illegal because it has to be made where the contract says it has to be made, falling under those stricter, restrictions for making the vaccine.
Wow.
Okay, so stay on this page and do the next one. Yeah, the biological product deviations. All right. Okay, so you must submit reports of biological product deviations in accordance with that. You should identify and investigate all manufacturer deviations promptly, including those associated with processing, testing, packaging, labeling, storage, holding, and distribution. If the deviation involves a distributed product, may affect the safe purity of potency of the product, right?
Yes.
So it's saying right there, if it's not made where we tell you to make it and it's not labeled properly, you're going to have some issues.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
So this whole fraud of people saying, oh, it's approved. So you're going out, you're getting a product that's not made where it's supposed to be made. It's not, probably, it's still labeled EUA if you go all over the United States, back then anyway. I don't know about now. I'm not messing with all that shit. But under the false pretense of something being approved, under the false pretense of it being made properly in the exact place where it's supposed to be made, under the strict standards, and you're getting something stuck into your body that's not what you thought.
Right. You know what this makes me question? There's so much damning evidence about the whole childhood vaccine schedule, but what this makes me think of regarding a parent and their child, it literally would be insane to blindly entrust in everything and administer that shot, just even sheerly based on where's the chain of custody or the actual reporting of the batch itself that is going into your child's arm. Where's the the report on that, because you now need, in my eyes, to even consider administering a foreign subject material into my child's body. I would want a report on the batch, and I would want a chain of custody now on that to ensure it is what in fact it's claiming to be.
The whole, trust issue is now gone, right? Like, am I supposed to trust you after you did this?
Or those that are informed and have done their research, because the fact of the matter is the true propagandists, the owned and controlled talking media, the attempts of control on social media such as Facebook, ScrewTube, IG, even former Twitter. X is now more liberated. I've still been flagged speaking truth on there. It's unbelievable. But so it comes down to sourcing, right? And information. And so many people have, for whatever reason, not seen the lies, the blatant lies, the blatant propaganda and manipulation tactics of the talking heads. So they're still drinking the Kool-Aid of that cult, so to speak, and not absorbing the reality they're living in, the truth of the matter, and seeing how many deaths have been correlated to this singular rollout. And that kind of mass psychosis, if you will, is what has led to these shots to this day still being administered, still being on shelves. That, like, what?
Yep.
What you ever are uncovering
wake
right
up
here.
until they get hurt.
Right. Golly. I have loved ones that have perished due to this freaking bioweapon. Who hasn't?
You could see that this whole thing was played out. It was all set up. It was a plot, a scheme, a scam.
Right.
They approved it. They took it away. They pushed the EUAs, and even all the way to the media, to everybody that said, "Oh, it's approved." Your doctors fell. Like, I'm not saying your doctors are horrible. People giving the vaccines are horrible, but they were all scammed. They're all tricked. They're all manipulated, and they fell for it. The problem I had initially was when I showed the chain of command the evidence, and I showed people the evidence, right? They kept doing what they were doing. Now they have some problems because they should have stopped.
Right. Oh, I post too much. I post too much on my X. I actually just tried searching real quickly to pull up the study, or not even the studies. What was it in 2019? They literally did a COVID outbreak test.
It was a scenario, yeah.
They were doing these scenarios dating back to 2019.
Yeah, so it was like 6 months or something like that before the pandemic, something like that.
There was big money, big energy being deployed before the pandemic to effectively gain the knowledge of the response of the pandemic. Like it proves that this was a plandemic and a scamdemic, not a pandemic. Unbelievable. Exactly. Okay. Go back to what were you saying?
Yeah, just grab another one of them words. I think the labeling one is that one we just did? No, not yet. Yeah, okay. Yeah, labeling. All right, there's 18. Let me see. Hold on. Page 3. So keep going till you hit page 3, I guess. Are we there or no?
We are. Yeah, labeling. Yeah, okay. We are hereby approved. This one?
Yeah. Okay. So it's basically just saying they approved the labeling on this date this time, right? So that's all it's saying is that whatever they approved that's the approved labeling for that vial, for that vaccine, for that content. Right? Wow. So let's go back to the Exhibit 0 and go to that first picture real quick. So I can show people kind of
Exhibit 0.
The PDF document I had. It's not on there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the PDF one I sent you.
Why am I? It's not this. This.
Yeah. Go all the way to the top.
Okay.
Shoot it to the top. All right. So Doc Romero. Okay.
Okay.
I guess I didn't really take his name off, but his first name's not Doc, but it is. So this is a medic. Doc Romero. He was in Korea, right?
Okay.
So I didn't go to Korea because I was busy getting kicked out of the military.
Gosh,
so
dang.
That's what I asked him right there, right? I'm wondering what vaccine caps and labels they're giving in Korea. Quick question: what color are the caps? What color is around the border of the label? That's all. I hope all is well. Whatever. So Doc hits me back, and he says the cap is purple and the label doesn't have color. Right. So what I want to do is pull up the 2022 December caregivers worksheet. It's down the bottom.
This one?
Yep. It should be page 6, I believe.
Uh-oh, it's not labeled.
I think that's it right there. Go back up. Right there.
Oh, the labeling.
All right. Verify that the vial of Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine has a purple plastic cap. Some vials may also have a purple label. Okay.
Dude, you are exposing them from another layer. This is freaking incredible, bro.
This is for the EUA product. Okay.
Okay.
And that's what it's saying. It's saying make sure that the shit has a purple cap. So because you see all these other vials that are there.
Yeah.
Right. Those are all different. All right. I don't remember exactly what they are. I have it somewhere in my documents, but like the last one right there is like a maroon cap. It's like for like fucking 6-month-olds or something. The orange one is for like children. The gray one's like, I think it's like the approved one. And then the purple one is the EUA one, right? Something like that. But the purple one's the EUA one, right? And so in Korea, when the entire brigade was deployed to Korea, they couldn't leave the base unless they were vaccinated.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
So they had one vaccine, they had to get another one. I don't know if they had to have boosters or not. I don't know any of that. But if they were getting boosters, that's what they were getting. EUAs, right? Even though they're supposed to get the approved vaccine, period.
Wow.
But see, the way they did it was they coerced them so much and basically saying, if you don't do this, you're going to lose your job, right? If you don't do this, this is going to happen to you. If you don't do this, that's going to happen to you. Like I just said, they couldn't leave the base. So they're in Korea, they're on a military facility. They couldn't leave that facility and do anything in Korea, go anywhere. They couldn't even go to the gym if they weren't vaccinated.
Wow.
Right?
Straight to me.
So it's like, oh, you're not vaccinated? Can't go to the gym, bro. Sorry.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if they're checking vaccine cards or whatever it was, or if they're on some list. I don't know any of that. I just know what I was told.
Right.
And that's that. So that's pretty trippy.
Yeah.
And so on this document, you can control F. Okay, number 2, which is not an FDA. If you go back to the other paper, you can just copy and paste it in there.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. In here?
This one? Yeah, number 2, where it says is not an FDA. Oh, shove that in there. All right. So, so this is their own document. So FDA has authorized an emergency use of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, which is not an FDA-approved vaccine.
Whoa.
And go to the top real quick so they can see what document this is.
Bro, that is unbelievable. Right.
This is yeah. So Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. injection suspension, Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine fact sheet for healthcare providers administering vaccines. So there's one for caregivers and there's one for healthcare providers. So your healthcare provider should have had this document.
Oh my gosh. They can't hide under any type of shield of immunity with
It's
this
right there. It says
this type of information.
It is not an approved vaccine. Well, exactly what it said.
Right. What is this thing doing? Man.
Here's something. Oh, go down and see the date real quick. Just so I could show, because I had to go back in time to pull up some old documents so people could see where they were.
Dude, there was no informed consent, like across the board. And then you even asked for like, hey, could I see the ingredient list? And it's blank, and or the side effects. There was no informed consent.
Well,
everything was a lie.
Bottom of the page.
Bottom.
Just another bottom of one of the pages.
Oh, one of the pages.
Yeah, so right there, revised 8 December 2022, right? So that's when this document was pushed out.
Oh man.
All right. So type in the word pregnant. All right. Control F, pregnant. Yep, there it is. Pregnant. There you go. This last little sentence. Vaccines administered to pregnant women are insufficient to inform vaccine associated risk in pregnancy.
Wait.
It's right where it's highlighted.
Oh, vaccine.
No, vaccine administered to pregnant women are insufficient to inform vaccine associated risk in pregnancy.
Get out of here. They targeted pregnant.
They were telling the women in the military, oh, you have to get it. It's safe and effective.
And the public.
Fine. You're okay. You're good. Yeah. But they had no data. You know why? Because they're trying to get data.
The murders is to how many miscarriages due to the shot alone, like actively being administered, that led to miscarriages, not even to mention the infertility that has come after and the horrific infertility rates. Like, wow, brother.
Yep.
This is
go back to the other one we were just on, where you were looking up the word labeling and biological products and all that stuff. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the eighth one. The eighth.
I want to, man. It makes me want to do this. Well, we did the pregnant. Okay, different document. Are you saying this one or?
That one. That was the one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, go to page 4. Okay. All right. Go down. Down. Keep going down.
That's
Maybe it's the wrong page. Oh, was that the right document?
I don't know. How about we just click out of this thing? Which one?
Click on the link. The one right above your cursor. Up.
This
one? Up. Right there.
Right here. Man,
yes.
That puts me.
All right. Is that the same one? Yeah, just keep going down. Oh, yeah. Keep going down. Maybe I got the page number wrong. Just go down. Keep going.
Pediatric requirements.
Keep going down. There's it's review studies. Right here. There we are. You're good, right? Go up a little bit. Up a little bit more. All right, here you go. Okay, annual status report, post-marketing study requirements, commitments. All right. So let's see. Deferred pediatric study to evaluate the safety and effectiveness of Comirnaty in children 12 years through 15 years. Final report submission, October 31st, 2023. Right.
Final. Okay.
So they were giving kids this shit a long time ago, and that's your final report study submission right there. But they were still being studied on, right?
Oh gosh,
and so
bro.
deferred pediatric study to evaluate the safety and effectiveness of Comirnaty in infants and children 6 months to 12 years old. Final report submission, May 31st, 2024.
Get out of here.
Okay, keep going
It
down.
breaks my heart for the parents that weren't in the know. I mean, I'm not spreading judgment. You know, it does break my heart because the information was out there, but the war tactics were effective. They controlled information to a huge degree. And we ended up in these echo chambers within our work environments, our family environments, where to challenge this narrative, right? That, oh, you better take your children in. You would be ostracized. You'd be ridiculed. You'd be, called all the names in the book.
Oh, you want to go to school? Go get your vaccine.
Right.
6 months and under. 31st October
6 months
2024.
and under, bro. Wow.
I think there's more. Go down.
That proves the lab rats.
That might be it. Oh, there's another study here. All right. To evaluate the occurrence of myocarditis and pericarditis following administration of Comirnaty. Final report, October 31st, 2025.
Oh my gosh, bro.
They're still studying. Everybody that's taking vaccines, you're part of a freaking test group.
Right. I don't get it. When I was growing up and even in my adulthood, I've met anyone. There's certain like clinical studies people will go in and, okay. But even those studies have regulated rules that at any point, if there's any harm or death, assuming like they stop it, they shut it down, like they cannot continue. And so the point I'm trying to make here is no one in my classes growing up or now have actively raised their hand to what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I want to be a lab rat. Well, anyone that's done this or continuing or considering it is nothing other than that. Like 100%. It's actually worse than that. What you connected here, it's a bioweapon. So what are we doing?
This number 4, this is the way I'm reading this, right? It's a non-interventional post-approval safety, right? So let's think about that. All the vaccines in the United States and the documentation I have says all the way to January 2022 were EUAs. So that's still part of the post-approval test right here in the United States.
Wow.
Because all those vaccines are not approved. They were EUA. So they're still part of that test. Even though they said they approved it, but they're getting vaccines that are not approved. So they would still fall in that category, right? There's some more myocarditis, pericarditis.
Gosh, no kidding. Yeah. Safe and effective, my ass. What a bunch of crock. Lies. Okay. Wow.
And so the whole, like, if it's approved, if it's not approved, it's just the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I get it. But legally, it's not, right? Making it, in manufacturing it, it's not. Like, where is it?
All these studies.
You can go to that last web link that's on there.
You scroll down?
Nah, it's on the Word document.
Oh, Word doc. Boom.
Yeah, the last one. Okay, so this one, what does it say up here? It says docs.house.gov/meetings. That's in the search engine, right? So house.gov, right? Okay.
House.gov. Yeah.
So different FDA standards for EUAs and full BLA approval. All right. Supplemental information to the question posed by Chairman Wenstrup at the hearing of the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, March 21, 2024. Okay. David Wiseman, PhD, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Chairman Wenstrup. Okay. What I kind of want to point out here, and whoever wants to read this document can read the whole thing.
Wow.
But this question, does the FDA have different standards for EUA and full BLA approval? All right. Could you explain the difference if there is one? Summary, right?
Yeah.
We'll just read the summary. It says, yes, the FDA does have different standards. For this discussion, there are 3 standards, right?
Okay.
Okay, there's a higher standard, okay, which is basically described as established as safe and effective. Okay, that standard applied to a conventional BLA. So that's prior to what's going on now, right?
Yeah.
There's a lower standard, okay? Believes may be effective standard applied to an EUA. Okay, so it's not safe and effective, right? The wording is believes may be effective. Okay, so anybody that's getting an EUA vaccine, that's the standard you're getting it on. That's the standard you got it on if you went and got your vaccine after the approval. All the way up to, according to my documentation, was January of 2022. I heard there's more documentation out there that is just proof of it lasting longer, right?
Right.
So, and then 3, a lower standard, okay, reasonably likely to predict, okay?
Predict. Wow.
Yep. Standard applied to an accelerated approval BLA, which is what the approved Comirnaty is. It's an accelerated approval process, right?
Wow.
Used to approve seasonal influenza. So they use it with the seasonal influenza and updated COVID-19 vaccines, and which relies on surrogate endpoints whose establishment does not require the substantial evidence standard.
Wow.
Okay.
This is so crucial. Now I get with our attention spans with, like this is a harder deep dive for individuals to sit through than, powerful videos, flashing before your eyes and, cool soundtracks and but this is what, like, it's almost just like diving into the Bible, versus hearing a pastor speaking it. It's 2 different things. When you actually experience and you look into it yourself, you gain a whole different level of either appreciation or conviction. And it's crucial. Like the fact we went through all of this together and not everyone is seeking it to some degree, this level of deep dive to gain understanding as to what really took place truly blows my freaking mind.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. But I mean, that's what it is, man. And that shows the intention. It shows the fraud. It shows, the bioweapon. It shows, if you go over those Nuremberg points,
right.
You'll highlight some of those.
Yeah. It's.
Look, voluntarily consent for human subject is absolute.
Yes. Okay. Essential.
Voluntary consent. Essential. Okay. So if I lose my job or get vaccinated, is that voluntary?
Right.
No.
Wow.
It's not. And that doesn't just go for the military. I mean, that goes for healthcare providers, college age students that were trying to go to school, whatever, the pilots, right?
Should be situated as to be able to exercise free power of choice. Unbelievable. Yep. Without intervention of any element of force fraud, deceit, duress, overreaching. It's such an infringement, folks. This is now can really dive in on the intent, and it's war crimes. This is World War III, because think about it. This happened globally, so the whole world, okay, and it's war crimes. So World War III, once again, has begun even pre-pandemic, with the war on information, the weaponization of biological warfare, information warfare, because it's only been through that's a blessing of the pandemic, and evil overextending its hand with the war tactics. Luckily, the silver lining has been a lot of people have awakened. A lot of people are slowly, still continually awakening. But does that mean we're absorbing it on the proper levels as the war crimes they actually are, to motivate us?
Don't get it.
No,
they just don't. They don't get it.
Wow.
I talked to a gentleman. He's like, I called it a bioweapon. And he's like, well, why would the government? Why is it a bioweapon, and why would the government, do that to its own population? And it's like, okay, man.
Try to understand evil for a second. Biblical, right? The synagogue of Satan.
There's to be honest, man, I don't know why these individuals would do that. Like, it's so freaking horrible. But the point is, they did it.
It's to maintain a manageable level of the population, and as they've lost the narrative, the control over the information, their tyrannical rule is legitimately threatened. Now, they've been in positions of power for a long time. When you look at these 15 plus families, right? And it's easy to more so become easily infiltrate money wise. It's easy to even buy out governments for these individuals, to set up institutions and corruption and cipher money right through. But they've even gotten so clever that they don't even need to use their trillions. They can actually, that's what I see AIPAC now. We're putting trillions of dollars into foreign aid, and it's funding through AIPAC. And now all these individuals here, you can start connecting the dots. And it becomes a narrative that we can't even supposedly talk about, because you'd be anti-Semitic to point out any connection to that. But you could see the millions of dollars just being siphoned to our senators, our congressmen, our presidents, everything, throughout history.
And to connect the dots, that's probably part of the reason why they're complicit in all this shit, right? And like you just said, they want control. Like, well, the United States, right? It as a republic, we have the Constitution. Within that Constitution, those individuals that are our leaders, right? They're our representatives, right? They're our servants. We tell them what to do, right?
Yes.
Now, what they're doing, if you kind of connect some of the dots, probably not all of them, but what they're doing with the whole COVID scenario, right? And you talk about vaccine injuries and all this shit going on, right? They're going to need, medical treatment after that, right? So the whole scenario is, if you're not vaccinated, we're not going to give you medical treatment. Well, then you get vaccinated. Now you need medical treatment because you're sick, right? And you're going to get your medical. So you need something from them. If you need something from them, that's control. They're going to have control, and they're going to start, pulling those freedoms away from you, right? Yeah. Oh, well, if you don't do this, then you can't go to the doctor and get checked out. If you don't do this, you can't go to school. Oh, and they start pulling back on all your rights and all your liberties, which rights fall under liberties, right? But that's all part of them maintaining control of the population. And once we lose the republic, everybody's fucked, because we're supposed to be, the light of the world, right?
Right.
The United States,
when you
America.
connect the dots, my gosh, they even profit off of our deaths. It's no secret. BlackRock has bought up so many mortuaries across the freaking globe.
Yeah, and I think they did that before the pandemic.
Yes, they're right.
They knew it was coming.
Yes.
If I knew it was coming, I could have done the same thing.
Right. Well, I mean, any business investors, even at this point, considering everything, because we're not grasping things fast enough. I would even, if I was sitting on a pile, I would invest in them myself. To be honest, I would invest in two different things, because we could go two different directions. You either start manufacturing gallows, right? So businesses with gallows, or you start buying up mortuaries. That's the knife's edge we're on. That's the decision we have to make right now. Are we going to seize the moment where we hold those accountable and the gallows get utilized, or are we going to stay ignorant and we're just going to start filling up these, mortuaries with our loved ones? The choice is yours.
And
like that's
we're enriching the enemy to
Right.
complete their plans.
Well, speaking on Nuremberg, let's play the clip.
You look at the 1947 Nuremberg Code, it's all about informed consent. I had this argument with a journalist the other day saying, well, no one was coerced, no one had a gun to their head. They're very clear in the Nuremberg Code. Coercion means anything, any pressure, any threat of a loss of a job, loss of income, anything, any pressure at all counts as coercion. There's a real legal argument to be made.
Boom.
100% true. And we just looked at the document. We just went over the evidence.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Right.
And every soldier that veteran, I guess, some are still active, but everyone that I interviewed, there's a form of coercion. Right? That's all the stories are somewhat the same. Like there's a lot of difference, but the basics are the same, right? General Austin, Pfizer, ended up approving the vaccine. General Austin the next day said you have to take the approved vaccine, right? Everybody was saying, oh, it's safe and effective, it's approved, take the approved vaccine. And then Terry Adair on the 14th of September 2021 came out with another memorandum saying that the vaccines are interchangeable, so medical providers should use it as if it was the approved vaccine. Like, what? That's illegal as shit. So everything was just boom, and every story turns out the same because it affected everybody's lives within the military anyways. Right. And then it goes into coercion tactics, right? For those that said, no, I'm not doing it. And, I would argue that, over 50%, maybe 60 or 70 initially, were saying I'm not getting it. And then they started caving, they started trickling it. The number's probably higher than that. There were those that got the EUA initially, was like, oh, I'm just going to get it. Like, whether they were scared, the fear tactics or whatever, but it was still coercion, with fear tactics, with the media, with everything that was going on. So they
legit started threatening the mass population through night shows, the talking heads, literally psychological warfare, calling this a pandemic of the unvaccinated, but even further than that the unvaxxed shouldn't get any hospital aid. In fact, they were some that went as far as like lock them up or put them down to the unvaccinated. It's unbelievable. They started erecting camps right here in America and all over the other countries as well for unvaccinated folks. They wanted to go full tyranny, right? They pushed it as hardcore as they could, gained as much momentum as they could. Luckily, it didn't go further than it did. However, look at the egregious outcome. It's still stinking available on the shelves as we're making this live episode. Unbelievable.
And another thing on that note, people were trying to get transplants and they're removed from the transplant list. But I'll also say, on that caregivers worksheet, I don't want to pull it up again, but it does say in there a few things. It does say that you have a choice to take an EUA product, which is legally that's correct. And then it does say that if you don't get vaccinated, your treatment in whatever medical facility will not change. Right? It says that as well in there. So yeah, all these things that are in this document, they wrote it out on paper to cover themselves, but that's not what they went by. That's not what they did. Right.
I can't believe I didn't even ever click through Mark Bashaw's amazing Freedom Fighter 1776, like all these links.
Let's go on there.
Holy smokes, folks.
Yeah,
all this,
we looked at all those, and you can read any of those. Those are all there. Yes. For anybody to read. But if you go back to his menu, and there's a lot of good stuff on there as well. But if you go back to the main menu and you go to he has court public opinion, you can do that. And there's some things out there that he has a lawsuit out there, know, and he's done some cease and desist orders and different things, but he puts it out there because the court of public opinion is the most important thing. If people don't see what's going on and understand what's going on, you're not going to get any change, because our representatives work for us.
Yes.
So when you go into the court of public opinion and the public understands what's going on and they start scrutinizing and demanding, then those individuals are gonna do what we want.
Wow. Yes, that's what it takes. Like, once again, what are we here for? With this level of warfare, this level of tyranny, unaddressed, it leads nowhere good, right? And so for us to really fulfill God's will and the purpose, like, we should actually be excited. And frankly, you don't have a choice with, I mean, you do, right? You do. But if with this level of warfare, it's very clear with your choice what outcome you get. Okay. So if you want this tyranny, you want worse things to happen, then choose not to do anything and go delusionally about your selfish life. If you actually want to seize the opportunities, because we were all put in this era for a reason, then seek relationship with God and his will for you. Tap into the light. And this is where I've slipped up, John, and I'll admit I've gotten disheartened myself. So I started trying to expose the darkness in a way with darkness, with being disheartened, being
that's so easy to do.
It's so easy, where biblically, if I wasn't so mortal, but once again, I actually noticed, this is what I noticed. I'm more so catered to that darkness when the bioweapon within my own body is flaring up, when it's just diminished enough. And that's why I want to sound the dang alarm. Like, let's stop the spraying the skies. Let's stop the frequency warfare. Let's stop this biological warfare and the centralization of our food and water and things of that nature, so we can have a fair shake. Because when you don't have health, general health, you're gonna more so fall short and cater to that darkness. But that's why I'm trying to become, even with the flare up, more reliant on God, realizing that we could fight from a place of victory. It doesn't matter necessarily what happens here. However, the spiritual warfare that's spoken biblically, that's playing out right here as we speak, we can more so effectively, and this is what I got to do better on. I can more so effectively, for my own salvation, or draw people into the light by exposing the darkness with what? With light. Okay. Yep. So there's hope. It's okay. It's irrelevant to an extent what takes place, really, whether we right the ship or not, because God wins. However, like, are we going to be a part of that win? Yes, we've still been given an opportunity in this existence. So in a way, I feel so many men are falling under the false sense of security of paying attention to their jobs, things like that, and paying no mind to this, when I feel convicted that all of us have a role to play. Just seek that for yourself. You just won't know what role you are to play if you don't accept any role. And I don't know if our loving creator is going to be casting judgment on when we don't fulfill his will in this existence, right? That's where we're to seek that above all else. And there's 365 fear nots in the Bible. So there's no fear to be had. We're to be excited.
There's one for every day, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what, man? Like, you almost have to give up your way of life,
Yes.
Give up your freedoms for freedom. Like, you're free to go to work. You're free to go to the store. You're free to go to the doctor. You have to give up your freedom for freedom. And those are the real fucking patriots. Those are the real heroes.
Bro.
And I'm not putting anybody down that's not doing that. Like, all my brothers and sisters in the military that, they joined for a certain reason and they're standing up and they're protecting the United States. Like, that's honorable. But when you know the truth and what's really going on, and then you just fold, that's something to be said, man. If you go 100%. Back to Mark Bashaw's website, man, I want to show you one more thing that I kind of really like on there.
Absolutely. It's such an awesome site. Go main menu.
Yeah, back to the main menu. If you go to Patriot Resources.
Okay.
Right, and scroll down.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, see, so that triangle is what that pyramid is what Mark says how it should be, right? And the way we're living right now, if you invert that thing,
yes,
that's how we're living. But this is how we should be.
That's more so the reality. Yes, inverted. Wow.
So,
like it's so
I don't
crucial.
know if he just made that up himself. I mean, he's smart enough. He probably did. These resources are pretty cool, man. They have a lot of different things on there.
Yes.
One thing I really like, though, if you go down or up a little bit, the third one down, right?
Oh, bro. Yeah. Everyone click on this one, folks.
There you go.
There we'll give a shout out to Scott, your partner in crime. Holy smoke. Scott and John are doing a fantastic job with this podcast, not even being monetized, not bringing a penny in, which I'm like, dude, you should, because it's only going to fuel what you can do, like the impact you could have in this existence, right? But if you win over the hearts, you start gaining more momentum in that regard through unity of the masses, then really you don't really have to more so concern about the finance side of it. So it just goes to show your integrity, your character, and you're about results and outcomes. You're not in it to grift like so many patriots out there, big name patriots. They're grifting hardcore. And they're not even really exposing the full big picture. They're actually playing the game of red versus blue. And that's a joke. It's a joke. There's something far bigger than that. It's bigger than politics. It's literally spiritual warfare.
If somebody's on stage with, a leader of the United States, or representative, I guess we should say, and it's a big deal and everybody sees it and they have a question to ask, and if it's about the vaccine or whatever, like if you're not going to sit there and start the question, with something along the lines of, why was the military not afforded the approved vaccine? Right. If you're not just going to throw it all out there, put it on the line, to me, what are you doing? What's your real true agenda?
Wow. Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I actually look forward to diving into this more myself. Why pull things off of X when there's such a powerful, there's a lot to this webpage right here.
There's a lot of information all in there.
Yes. I look forward to diving into this more. I challenge the listeners to do that, but be excited to do so and forward it to the moon and back. We need to gain more momentum.
Seek the truth for yourself. Go look for it. Go find the truth. Like, don't just sit there and watch the news and take their word for it. Question what they're saying.
Right.
Shit. If you just watch this episode, safe and effective, approved, they've been lying to us for years.
Yeah.
Go seek the truth.
Yes. Wow. And that's what's powerful about what you just brought up to here is they don't even have to take our word for it, right? Like you just walked through the evidence, you walked through the information. And if that wasn't enough, you provided all the links. People could start reading through those documents for themselves and connecting those dots, which I would encourage people to do because it becomes a conviction on a whole other level than just being told and just being shown. And like, it is challenging, right? Because, you know, we got bills. It takes a fake currency to apparently go to a grocery store and get. It would be nice if we already were back to a barter system, because I feel like in a way what you're doing here should provide you what you need out there in the real world, because it's a service at the end of the day. And more people that tend to do this, like we could shift, we could have such, but there is a beautiful experience to be had when you start engaging on these levels, and it continually challenges in ways even your faith, which leads you down a more meaningful road in that regard too. So it's just,
and I think
it's living life to its fullest. It's living life to its fullest. Why, when the matrix is exposed to you in the red pill and blue pill, why on God's green earth would you take the blue pill and just continue to just, all right, NFL, yeah, touchdown, like a bunch of men in freaking tights? Really, men? That's what you're into these days? Unbelievable.
We're not saying it's bad to do that, but if you're not seeking the truth and finding the information and really understand what's going on, like, here's the reality. We're at war, right? We are at war, right?
Yes.
What happened, what I just showed, right? That's treasonous activity.
Yes.
The United States is at war, right? So if you're at war, we don't have time to play games and watch games and entertain ourselves. We need to be focused, and we need to get the information out there, and we need to win this. We're not going to win it by doing all the things you just said, right? And I'm not saying those things are bad, but when the people that are running those things are not doing those things for good purposes, and then it's bad.
Well, it's also more, it's more than the new Colosseum, right? When you think back on Rome and all the turmoil amongst the civilians, and whoa, what are we going to do? And so they kicked off the gladiator stuff, right?
Yep.
It's not just mindless entertainment at this point. It's actually being weaponized through the commercials, through the halftime shows, through the actual players themselves, to even spit on the flag, spit on the warriors that fought, bled, and died for our freedoms. So it's demonizing our own country. It's demonizing our own history. And newsflash, like NFL, we could look it up. We could do the search. It is not a sport. It's classified as entertainment. So why be wrapped up in the colors and your state, and it literally preys on these primal instincts we have. And it would be great. It would be great, because I do like competition. I do like athleticism. I do like a lot of things that actually became that made that more so America's national sport.
That's how we thrive.
But we've gotten away from the good, wholesome things that come from it, and we've allowed it to be infiltrated and corrupted in and of itself. So it has more so been deployed as a distraction, squirrel tactic, to keep you from fulfilling what actually matters, from keeping you from protecting your own family. John, I keep trying to do these analogies, and we could do the analogy, whether it's the chemtrails in the sky, the poisoning of the water, the poisoning of the food, or this incredible amount of information you just brought forth that shows the war crimes due to the COVID shot and their weaponization of a vaccine. But it's like I could walk up into individuals, just everyone listening, just imagine me or some individual walking up to you and just saying, "Oh my gosh, sir, or ma'am, I got proof. I got proof." And whether you have kids, or it's your loved one, your husband or wife, or your grandparents. We all got grandparents. How about that? Well, we don't know if they're around, or parents. So I have proof of one of your loved ones being poisoned. Like, wouldn't you accept that information? Oh my gosh, show me the video proof you have. Show me. for some reason, we're not asking. We're just like, we're literally as though a stranger or someone comes up to us and states, I have proof of a stranger poisoning your loved one, and you're denying that proof. You're literally like, no thanks, I'm too busy. No, it would be insanity not
we just proved that on this episode.
And you proved that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so the video now that this individual is bringing to you, it could consist of the proof of the chemtrail, right? The poisoning of our air. It could be the proof of the frequency warfare that's been deployed. And like, you could sit there and question, or we'll just keep it to this episode, right? So all these war tactics, just this singular war tactic should be enough. Because think about that in your personal life. How are you not recognizing that? You would want full legal action. Heck, some real men would want to dig a grave and hold that individual accountable and bury him. Right? Let's be real. Right? Some people would take that if you actually walked up in this scenario and provided that proof and you had a face to it, which we do have faces to them. We do. Everyone that pushed this, everyone. Unbelievable. And does it mean grave? No. We could use the systems, but we need to ensure the systems operate as they were designed, that there is not a two-tiered infrastructure. For too long, we haven't had accountability. For too long, we haven't held these individuals accountable. We've given up the keys to this very country. We are not, our even officials aren't in control. They're fulfilling the bidding of their slave masters entirely. You could follow the money. So no individual's riding in on white horse and saving us. And I'm sorry, as much as I like so many things about Trump, it's not Trump. We need unification of the people to ensure our own safety, our own futures. And if we don't seize that opportunity, like what comes is what comes. I just hope we seize the opportunity with excitement, because that's what we're given in this era. That's what is happening. So once again, like, with warfare, are we going to resort to the gallows, or are we going to resort to the mass graves? It's our choice. It's your choice. Let's not turn away the individuals and our duty to understand the war, the poisoning of our loved ones. Because if there's a reason why these dang globalists are going after two things, and we must uphold them simultaneously. We must maintain our health, and we must maintain freedom of speech. Because if we lose either one of those, it is entirely done. And they're becoming far too effective with both, frankly, because too many people, it's no secret, the majority of the population still on YouTube, ScrewTube, and not Rumble. Okay. And then you could look at the birth rates. You could look at the life expectancy tanking. You could look around you and make an honest assessment to your loved ones in your lives and the diminishing. Like, let's look at how reactive we've become. We can't even have conversations, even over things that really don't matter, red or blue. We can't even have a conversation. We are so active. Exactly. And that's just proof is to the diminishing. No one is immune to the war tactics that's happening, right? Obviously. Oh, well, why would they spray themselves? And well, it's simultaneously the spraying compiled with the frequency warfare. It's those two tactics. So you think they're nuking themselves in their estates or multiple states with the frequencies? You don't think they have the detox protocols to ensure that these metals and these poisons and these parasites and these bioweapons don't pose any threat to them?
Yeah, they have it. They have it all.
They have it all. So it is cool. I mean, to go back to that gentleman's point, well, why would they do it? Well, why does evil do what it does? It becomes irrelevant, kind of almost question.
Even if the answer is just for money, I mean, there you go. That's the biggest corrupter of all. Just for money, period.
Money, power, control, and also the satanic worship. And whether you believe, and like you said on the phone call earlier, whether you believe and the devil himself and evil and the satanic worship is irrelevant because they believe it and they're worshiping, they're sacrificing children. Like the over 300,000 children that have been human trafficked across a border. It's documented. That's only the number we know of.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy time.
One thing I want to say before we end up cutting out of here.
Okay.
Basically, if you have loved ones or anybody within your life that a friend, someone you just met, if they believe that they got an approved vaccine, and especially within the time frame that I just showed, send them this video, have them watch it, or just take a screenshot, of that CDC document that says there's no approved vaccine in the United States, and show them the date that was, taken off the computer. Like, they have to understand that this happened.
Yes.
And this is the world we live in. And get them to watch the video, get them to share it, get them, and like, again, I'm not doing it for monetization. I'm doing it because I want to wake you up, because I care. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to be one of them, adult sudden death syndrome things going on. I don't want your kid playing soccer and then just passes out on the field and nobody knows why. We know why. Right. It's no secret. So it's important that we share the information, we get it out there. And I'm not making any of this stuff up. As you can see, all the documents are there. They'll be in the description box on my channel as well once I get around to it. James has it all on his. It's black and white. It's written. Congress knows about it. I showed you that. The DOD knew what they were doing. Pfizer knew what they were doing when they took it off the market the same day they approved it. And that was planned. Why would they do that? Why would the DOD the next day send it out? If I can figure it out, if a young soldier, PFC Derek Wynn, right, can figure it out, right? You're telling me General Austin didn't know what he's doing?
Right.
Get out of here. Telling me Congress didn't know? It's in the paperwork.
Right. Wow. How everything's been weaponized against we the people. The synagogue of Satan has grown exponentially in our time, and clearly these are the latter days. And with that being said, should raise the sense of urgency to not live in ignorance, to seek all this truth. Truth truly does set us free. It's crazy how people are content not being free, not just within our country, but in their own minds, even most importantly, within their spiritual being. That is why we're here. That's what's important. John, I am so grateful for this conversation. I know it's not, and that's the problem. It's not the most flashy to where when you go through documents to this extent, a lot of people like that. Can we acknowledge that that's been part of the dumbing down, the ADD type? Like is there more important discussions to be had?
Well, like you said, it's the entertainment. People are so involved in entertainment and getting excited. They don't want to do this. They don't want to look at this. They don't want to research this. It's not entertainment. It's exposing corruption.
Yes. Man, I just hope and pray that anyone that made it this far into this episode challenges themselves to have these discussions. You have the receipts. You have nothing to fear. And you can come from a place of love. I mean, the reality of it is, if you end up talking to individuals that just don't have ears to hear, well, what did Jesus tell his apostles when he sent them out? Like, dust the dust off your feet and continue and find the ones that have ears to hear. We can't let that discourage us to show up on behalf of love for other individuals. And when you do connect, when you have breakthroughs, like all the no's, all the struggles, it becomes worth it in that moment. I mean, that it becomes so fulfilling. There's nothing better to be engaged in this existence. So John, thank you so much for what you do on the Forgotten Soldiers and everything you guys
said. I keep cutting you off, but you said people that don't have ears to hear. So I gotta say, you fucking grew them, so use them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You grew them, so use them. And and the last thing that I'll shut up with is like my brother Mark Shaw, showed on his website, God first.
God first. Wow. I'm so grateful for you, man. So grateful for warriors like you in my life, because the reality of me, I wouldn't have the courage to continue this alone. I just wouldn't have the resilience. I wouldn't even have the faith. So it's together collectively, we could even gain more momentum, more clarity, more excitement, that like the light you share and fuel you feed me, we can magnify that together. And that's why we're trying to use this digital space that evil's been so effective with to magnify all our voices. So if anyone feels empowered, impressed to come forward, tell their COVID tyranny story on a civilian level or on a military level, please reach out to John and the Forgotten Soldiers. Reach out to me, unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. Do you have a specific way of that you prefer people reach out to you? Go ahead and plug it.
Well, yeah, man. It's all on my introductory videos. So if you watch any of my videos, it has all the introductories on there. It has my Facebook on there. It has my X on there. You can just send me a Facebook messenger. That's fine. It's just my name backwards, Delarm John. You can send me a friend's request. I'll snag you in. I play all my videos on Facebook for free. You can watch everything on Rumble. If you message me on Rumble, I'll get back to you. I'm not very quick with it, but I'll every now and then I go through it.
On a video.
Yeah, I'll even if you just say something small, I appreciate it, and I'll say thank you, and keep the fight up or whatever, and I really mean it because it's important. So any way you can reach out to me, and if you're interested in doing a podcast, and whether you're in the military or civilian, I'm ready to do it. I will.
Fantastic.
I'm going to give you my personal number, and we're going to call each other, and we're going to talk on the phone, and we're going to get linked in and do it. And Scott's information's on the intro video as well. His X and his emails and all that's all in there too. The emails, it's the Forgotten Soldiers 19@yahoo.com. And then I don't know my X because I don't really go on there that much, but I mean I do. It's at John Delarm 19344. Had to look it up, but that's what it is.
19344. Yeah, way to make it an easy handle. No, there's probably a lot of Johns out there already on there.
Yeah, just reach out to me, and as soon as I see it, I'm gonna respond to you, and we'll get something going. It's as easy as that. And then it doesn't end there, man. You're gonna have my number if you want to help out. We can figure out some ways to fight. We're doing some other things to bring to light to people. If you want to come on the show once or twice, if you want to do a show with me and co-host a show with me, and we can do that too. If I got somebody lined up, I don't care.
That's awesome. That's an amazing call to action right there. Just getting more people to stand up. That's the beauty of all of us being different, right? You, any listener, do not discredit the impact you could have. You will bless lives in ways me and John cannot. We need more people to gain the courage and the clarity and the excitement to come forward and share their stories. On Muzzle Chat, we open to anyone that wants to bear their testimony on God or any life challenge, business success, anything that will breathe light and life into individuals that will help lead to securing our future, blessing our health. Let's get excited to create this momentum together. Be sure to subscribe to the Forgotten Soldiers. Smash that follow button, subscribe, like, comment. The comments create momentum in and of themselves. We can challenge ourselves to even reach out to other people to come on to create the momentum together. We could have multiple people on even at a time. If you're a little discouraged and you want a family member with you, if you want a friend with you, whether you're sharing the same camera or individually, we could send individual invites out and welcome you in, and we'll just continue this momentum together. It's very
and not just that, man. Like if somebody wants to start a podcast, they don't know how to do it. Like we can help you do that. Like it's not an issue. Like and like James said, he's open to talk about anything. I'm open to talk about anything as well. But
Awesome.
You know,
okay.
my focus is, you know, the corruption behind the COVID-19. So
Yes.
if you come on my show, I'm going to ask you about your time during COVID. I'm going to grind you a little bit, get some questions out there. And if you happen to get the conversation going somewhere else after 20, 30 minutes of that, then fine. You know, we just did a show with Autumn Smith, and, you know, she talked a lot about her activism. And, you know, we talked about activism. We talked about COVID. We went back to activism. We talked about RFK. We talked about so many things. So, you know, it's not just like, this is it. Like, I'm going to get it in there, but you know, I'm open for anything as well, but we're still going to talk about code.
You're honing in on that so effectively, John, because in my eyes, that is the smoking gun. All these other angles, like, it more so becomes difficult because you touch on political figures. All of a sudden, the weaponization of words have become effective. People don't have the ears to hear. You talk on the chemtrails, automatically individuals are like, like I'm already drinking the Kool-Aid of their definition of water vapors and ice crystallization somehow lingering in the sky all dang day. I'm sorry, that's insanity. But however, it's a divisive topic. COVID is like, we all experienced the tyranny. It was all weaponized, specifically directly targeted at each and every one of us. And when we truly are honest with ourselves about it, we can see the actual horrific outcomes to those war tactics from COVID, and the masking and the shutdowns and the buying up of our family businesses because they shut our doors and BlackRock came in. It's unbelievable, all the war tactics, but there's great opportunity. Now, unlike John, folks, I do have affiliations. I'm full-time. This is what I do. Other than this, I'm strictly trying to rebound in order to show up better for you each and every day, which I'm horrifically failing at because this Lyme disease, there's no clear-cut path to health and wellness. So it's literally just that. And I need your support in order to continue. I need your support to magnify what we're trying to accomplish here. So unlike John, I do seek funds. And
hey, brother, and I'll tell you, I know you're doing your pitch, but I'm going to tell you, if I had extra money, and I will in the future, you know, that's going to go your way, brother, because I respect so much what you're just doing with all your time.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there before you get me choked up. Because the last, I want to fund what you're doing. The last I want, you can magnify your funds.
Yeah, but I won't take it.
Thank you, man. I'm just so appreciative. You're such a gift in my life and to so many others. I hope people can grasp that. So, folks, please check out our affiliations. I'm not going to go through them all. We got ones that will up your health and at discounts. It's all in the description below. We got ones like American Reserve's EMP Shield where you can protect yourself, and it's benefiting us all because it's, yes, I get a small cut. However, you get a big discount. So it's a win-win for the company, which is doing amazing things. All these affiliations are doing amazing things on behalf of we the people and the family unit and pro-life and pro-veterans and pro-freedom. So, and if you find a discrepancy with one of my affiliations, please let it known. I will drop them like a freaking hat, the drop of a hat, if they don't align with our core values here. Okay. That's what we're going for. It's got to be a win-win all the way around. If one person's winning over the others, I'm not interested. There's got to be gain all around. So they're offering discounts and all this stuff. So let's gain that resilience. Let's get excited. I feel totally different, John, going into this or coming out of this than I did going into it. I felt too self-absorbed, and now it's kind of got the path cleared, and it's about showing up on behalf of others, and that there's just been a shift internally that's taken place. So once again, I express gratitude. Folks, give it up for John DeLarme and the Forgotten Soldiers and Scott and everything they're doing. What freaking warriors, what examples. Let's go, let's blow them up. No more messing around. Let's be excited to do what we can with the time we got. That's what this life's about. And with that, God bless you. Till next time, take care.